what do you do when it comes down to dealing with? I don't know any of you guys ever detailed cars before, and hopefully, if you do join, I would love to hear your responses. But as a detailer, when you're going out and you're detailing someone's car, are you thinking more about the car, or are you also thinking about the customer, the client as well? I was thinking about that today as well. I was like, a lot of times, when we're going to detail, it may be our personal passion to detail the car and to make the car look nice, to make it shine, and we want to put our all into it. But do we really know what's going on in the client's head? What's going on in the client's mind that day? Were there any struggles and challenges that they probably have experienced? Again, it's not our ultimate goal to pry into their business, but can we, as detailers, I want to know what y'all think about this. As detailers, do you feel like we should kind of like get to know the clients a little bit more on an intimate level? Would that take away from your detailing, your time from actually making money? Or is it worth actually taking out 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to talk to the client, get to know them, to allow them to feel a little bit more comfortable with you, and then to be able to express themselves to you to where that now you build a stronger bond and a connection with them to where that they're going to rely on you a little bit more as time goes along? Do you check on them? Not sending out reminders and saying, hey, here's a reminder for me to clean your car. Or do you check them and say, hey, I was just thinking about you and I hope that you're doing good, and that's it? Were we able to do that when it comes down to being a detailer, to really check up on our clients? I think that for me personally, why I like detailing, like I said before, it's like to really know that the client is happy and they feel refreshed when they see the car. But also, I want them to feel happy before I even come there, knowing that I will be arriving. They'd be looking forward to the opportunity to just kind of do a brief little chat and talk with me and say, hey, how you doing today? And actually engage in conversation. I think that would be worthwhile. I really ultimately hope that as a detailer, and if again, I want your thoughts on this. Like, as you guys are being detailers, do you think about that? Do you feel like that will help you in the long term when it comes down to building a positive reputation, knowing that, hey, this guy listens to me. I come out here and sometimes I'll be stressed out. We have a nice, good chat. He shares some thoughts with me and vice versa. And do you think that plays with as far as like word of mouth? Sometimes we feel like we need to do all these different advertising schemes on Google and blah 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 blah, just sending it all out. But why not just once we get our first couple of clients, just really engage in conversation with them if they want it, but also to be concerned about and being in tune to listen to them as well, because sometimes they may imply something that they're going through, and if we're able to listen to that and just be able to later on contact them, check out, I'm like, hey, you know what, I remember we was talking this and this and this, I just want to make sure whatever you was going through, I hope that you're doing better. So that's the goal. The goal is to ultimately try to get people to feel comfortable. My wife is cooking in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear that noise, but I can hear it. It's the blender. Yeah. But look, this is how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So we're learning as we go. We're trying to set the time frames right, whatever. But overall, yeah. So just think about that, guys. Like, I think it's important to where that if we're going to be dealing with our clients, we want them to feel important, and not just by fixing their car, but also making sure that they're doing well as well. I think that's very imperative, and that's my goal. That's my ultimate goal. I want to really not necessarily just focus on the material aspect of it, but I also want to focus on the mental aspect of our clients. Because if they're doing good, then they're gonna eventually start thinking about us. They're gonna try to reach out to us as well. I'm like, hey, let me check up on this guy. Let me see how he's doing. And that just builds up more business, more friendships, ultimately more friendships than business. Because at least you know that you have a network of friends that will be around, that will be able to support you, and whenever you need something or if they need something, you'll be there for them. So I think that's a great idea. Let me know your thoughts about that if you guys do this. What do you guys think about when it comes down to your finances? How do you go about your finances? And I'm just curious, like, as a detailer, how do you invest your money? Like, what do you do with your money? when you get your money as a detail, especially if you're starting off, what do you do with it? Where does it go? Do you keep it in the bank? Do you spend it right away? Do you purchase more products, more tools? What do you do? I'm curious. What are your thoughts? Like, what do you do when you get your money, especially if you're trying to upscale your business and trying to make it grow, or are you just trying to be a detailer to where this is just a side hustle and you just want to make a couple of dollars just to enjoy your lifestyle? But do you ever think about, if you're starting small, if you are trying to upscale your business and trying to make it bigger, what would you do with your money? I'm curious about that, and I kind of want to talk about that in another stream and just be able to get people's thoughts about that. Because as I get older, I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to tell you exactly how old I am, but I'm in my 40s, and just being 40 years old and being younger, as a younger guy, you play, you enjoy life, you spend money, and not necessarily thinking about the future. But usually when you get within the age of between 20, 35, 30, 35, maybe 40 years of age, something like that, you start to take life a little bit more serious. And I think you start doing that because a lot of people that you're familiar with and and you grew up with, they start dying, they start passing, they're getting sick. And you start thinking like, man, well, what about my life? What do I have to show for it? And I think a lot of times, most guys, we don't really think about that long term. And I think that's very imperative for us, is if we're going to be detailers or if we're going to be men, it's very important for us to be able to think about our future and really try to make sure that we're using our finances in a way to where that it'll be able to provide for us later in life, especially if you're self-employed. If you're your own boss, what are you doing with your money? Are you actually using it to save up for a rainy day? Are you investing in it? What are you doing with your money? I think that's very important for mobile detailers or auto detailers to really, especially when you're starting off. Do you start later? Do you start now? What should you do? And I think it's important to have that discussion, to talk about that. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, guys. Because, like I said, me starting off doing detailing, uh, and I had a business. I used to do home improvement before. Now, I do I'm a sign language interpreter. So sometimes I might see my hands moving. Sometimes I'm trying to hold that down at the same time. I'm trying not to sign and at the same time talk. But I'm a sign language interpreter as well as a mobile detailer. So I have a lot of experiences in a lot of different areas, and I feel like that's always helped me to be able to become a better person because of the simple fact that I tried different things. What's up, buddy? And overall, I think that you ever heard the statement "Jack of all trades and master of none"? I was that guy. I'm that guy. I'm a jack of all trades. I can do a whole lot of things. I've learned at a young age to use my hands, so I know how to be able to, if something falls or if I lose my job in one area, I know how to go and find a job somewhere else. But overall, it's very refreshing to know that it's imperative for you guys to think about your finances. Think about your finances, especially you young guys. If you're getting out here, have fun if you want to, but think about your finances. Where are you putting your money? Where are you putting your money? If you're trying to start a business, try to make sure you put some money aside to take care of your finances, to save up for retirement. Maybe you might get hurt. You need to just think about all of this, man.